Today I'm demonstrating for you a very clean and very simple card using the new Stampin' Up! Perfect Mix stamp set and watercolor pencils. I'm so glad you're joining me today. Welcome to StampingSmiles.com. I'm Shelley Godby, the owner and CEO of Stamping Smiles, and for 15 years I've been teaching others how to create their own hand-stamped smiles. So the way I'm going to demonstrate to use the watercolor pencils today, none of the color is going to bleed to the inside of our very clean and very simple Perfect Mix card. Here's a closer view of the Perfect Mix stamp set. It's available in clear mount and wood mount. I love a play on words. Look, we've got your one in a dozen, you're great, we're the perfect mix, and no one measures up to you. And so because my Perfect Mix card is so very clean and so very simple, it's leaving me some extra time. And so we're going to start with cutting and scoring the cardstock. For my very clean and simple Perfect Mix card, I'm going to use Whisper White thick cardstock. Like the Whisper White cardstock, the finish is designed to take ink for beautiful stamped images. But look, the thick cardstock, well, it's heavier, and so it makes for a sturdier card base. Now the Whisper White, great for layering, so you really do want both. Okay, so out of one sheet of 8.5 by 11 cardstock, I get 2 card bases because the finished size is 4 1/4 by 5.5. So let me grab my Stampin Trimmer. Boy, this is a very nice cutter. Here we have the cutting blade, which I always leave to the top, and the scoring blade, it's a lighter gray, I leave that to the bottom. Okay, so I want this to open from the bottom, and so we're gonna pick this up, we're gonna place this at 4 1/4. Now look at the top, but always make sure you come down that it's following that line, so it'll be nice and straight for you. Okay, so we've got that. You can lock it in place. I don't tend to lock it when I have a big piece like this. Let's go ahead and just cut that. And so now I have 2 card bases. So the next step is scoring it. And so, like I said, I keep my scoring blade at the bottom. And we need to score this in half, and that'll be at 5.5. This is going to put a crease in it, so when we fold it, it's just nice and clean and not all crinkly. If you've ever folded your card without scoring it, you know what I'm talking about. So let's place this at 5.5 and pull that score blade over it. And do you see that crease line? That's what we're going for. Okay, every time I fold a card, I always use my bone folder. And so what I do is I match up the 2 ends. There we go. And then give it that nice crisp fold. Isn't that nice? It's not springing up all over the place, and it's going to be great for stamping on and for layering. Not that we're layering today, but now we're all set. And so we're ready to start stamping. I almost forgot, I want to round the corners. So whenever you're using a punch like this is the Project Life Corner Punch, these are designed to go through one sheet of cardstock. So what we would need to do is punch one corner and then the other one, do them each separately, okay? And so you do that to all 4 corners. But what happens when you like that look of it up here on the fold? That's impossible to stamp, to punch those each separately. Well, they're designed to go through one sheet of cardstock, and one of my stampers, she didn't know that and went through 2 sheets, and it did break the punch. So I thought, boy, I really want that look for my clean and simple card. So I decided to try something. I got out my envelope punch board because I knew I had this punch for it, and I thought, well, let's see what happens. And I held my breath, and I slid it right in here, and then punch. Went, oh my goodness! And then I tried it again because I thought, well, I don't think I broke it. Slide that in so it's touching both sides. I'll be doggone. It can take it. I thought it could, and it can. So let's go. Now I can do both of these at the same time as well. And so the envelope punch board, well, of course you make envelopes with it, but now you've got a way to round the corners, right, on the fold. All right, so we've got all 4 of those, and look how sharp we're looking here. Now we're ready to stamp. I really like the look of the rounded corners, and it was so quick and easy to do. Okay, so we're going to be watercoloring, so we need a permanent ink. So I'm going to use the basic black Archival Stampin' Pad, push, flip, and lock that lid into place. And even though I've used the bone folder, I just prefer a perfectly flat card, so I'm going to open that up. And I have here the dozen eggs. Let's go ahead and ink it up on here. Let's tap that on there a few times. All right, and look, turn it over. We've got good coverage. Okay, and right about there. Oh, adorable. And so then we have our greeting. This is what makes it your 1 in a dozen. Let's go ahead and ink that up. And right underneath. Perfect. All right, so we're done with this. Let's go ahead and pull in that lip and then click. You know it's shut. So now we're going to use the new watercolor pencils, and they come in 13 colors. So let's start. The 3 we're going to be using, I've got right here. And so, you know, eggs are pretty, you know, they're a little bit, well, they're white. They tend to be white. So we're just going to do a little bit of shading with them just to give them some color. So I've got the basic gray, and I'm just doing along the one side, okay? Where the light would hit them to shade. Okay, so keep that all on the same side. Very, very easy to do. So I'm done with that. And so, like I said, I got thinking about it, and I thought, all right, if you're 1 in a dozen, well, let's color one of the eggs. So I have the Melon Mambo. Let's just color this in. And so with the watercolor pencils, the more color you put down, the more vibrant the color will be. So if I didn't want this to be bright, I wouldn't put down a lot, but I want it to really stand out because, you know, you're 1 in a dozen. You stand out from the crowd. All right, so we've got that filled in. And then I thought about doing a brown egg carton. I thought, no, egg cartons come in all kinds of colors, yellow and blue and pink. Well, so I've got the Bermuda Bay. So we have to make sure we get right here. Fill that in. Okay, so this will be very colorful, but quick and easy to do because we've got all those white eggs. Okay, isn't it fun playing with coloring? You know, you feel like a child again, but our tools are so much more fun than just having crayons, aren't they? Okay. There we go, almost done. You don't have to be perfect. You don't have to perfectly color in the image. But I do want, because my card is so clean and simple, I just want this image to really pop. Okay, there we go. So we could use the aqua painters to spread that around, but I really wanted a lot more control, and I didn't want to layer with this. So instead, I'm going to use the blender pen. We have 2 tips on here, and they're the same. So I've got a piece of scrap paper. Let's make sure I put that away clean. Good. See, it came off clean. So I'm going to start with the gray, and look at that. It's just blending it out, giving that little bit of shading. So we didn't leave a harsh line on there. Very, very nice. Okay, so whenever you change colors, like you would with an aqua painter, go ahead and clean that off. And so now, let's go ahead and look at that, how it smooths out the color. And you don't have all those pencil marks. Isn't that sharp? But look how quick. Okay, so go ahead and wipe until it's clean, or if I were doing a whole lot of these, I would do the assembly line and I would just use the other end, you know, not clean it in between, and then we wouldn't be getting as rid of. Look at that. Don't you love how it changes from the scribble marks to this soft, smooth watercolor look? And then I get to control it with the blender pen and stay in the lines. So very, very easy to do. And it'd be fun to blend the colors too. You know. But for my clean and simple card, we're just going to keep the colors very, very true to what they are and not blend them. Here we go. And look, I'm done. That simple. My very clean and very simple, didn't I tell you? Perfect mix card. If you'd like to make my very clean and very simple perfect mix card, all the supplies are listed under the video and available to order in my online store, www.shopwithshelly.com. I'm Shelly Godby, teaching you how to create hand stamped smiles. Thanks for watching.